in Liverpool to be sold in Nigeria. And they sell 100 million units of this in Nigeria.
What is that?
It is an anti-malarial insecticide. So I have a business deal here, mass market anti-malarial insecticide. The only country in which this is sold in Africa at the moment is Nigeria. So anybody who knows someone who can distribute these in Sierra Leone.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay. Oh, okay. Names on a piece of paper, please. I will send you the details. This is what British African has been doing. It's been talking to British companies that want to sell. This is what British Africans should be doing. They should be talking to British companies who want to sell. Oh, I'm sorry about that. So you guys can appoint yourselves, even if you're not members of the diplomatic service, as business ambassadors. You're business ambassadors for your country. You're listening to what your friends and relations are saying and recognizing what they need. And then your task is to find it here, or in Japan, in Europe, or in America, or in China, or in India. That's your job. Teaching business online, so I told you about that one. Oh, the building machine. They're looking for distribution in every town in Africa. They're looking for distribution in every country in Africa. They have a whole range of things. Those machines are being used in Bangladesh now because they didn't know how to build buildings that were strong enough to go up 6 stories. This machine is strong enough to go up 6 stories, and it's being used in Bangladesh now because it complies with their new regulations. On to the next slide. Now there's a whole stack of things that I've given you. What I want is what you're going to give me. The British African project sheet is about helping you to bring forward the idea that you had from your sister when she talked to you on the phone the other day about what she needs. So what's her objective? What's her target audience? What's the overview of the business that she wants to run? What's the planned outcome? What are the actions required to make that happen? Where's the business plan? You can't start with a business plan. You need something simple like this that allows you to get that thinking going. Then you need to find the accountant in the room who can help you with the planning of the figures. Then you need the lawyer to help you with the legal issues that you may run into. Then you need to find the various other business partners who will help you get on your way. But that's what the project summary is about. And what it creates is a business pipeline. And we have hundreds of projects on the business pipeline that you might want to get involved with. How much money do you need? 2,000 to 20,000? 20,000 to 200,000? 200,000 to 2 million. This sector is probably the most difficult sector in which to raise money. Unless African investors step forward and become the business angels that help people go through that process, those businesses are never going to start. 2 million to 20 million, 20 million to 200 million, 200 million and larger. We've got a project going in Ghana at the moment, 350 million. They're taking waste and they're turning it into electricity.
Oh my God.
Who's got a country full of waste? Okay, talk to me afterwards. So, I ask you, what can you do to employ 10 people in Africa this year? And I don't want to think about importing huge, great, expensive machinery that's only going to appeal for the very, very rich people. That's an important part, but I don't want you to think about that. I want to think about the businesses that are 1 to 5, 1 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 50, 50 to 200. That sort of area where you will create jobs. Big companies going to Africa these days go with a strategy of how do we employ the fewest number of people. We've automated all our factories in Europe and in America and in China to use the fewest number of people. That's not going to create jobs in Africa. One then two. So is this a social enterprise or is this a business? Here we've got some young people learning to use a sewing machine in Uganda in a place called Ruhanga. It's an organization run by my friend Ida Horner, who some of you may know. Let them help themselves out of poverty is her blog. Let them help themselves out of poverty. And she's adopted Ruhanga because she comes from there. And the other side of the wall is a bicycle repair shed, where the girls are being taught to repair bicycles. And what she has is a community development program that she's developed with the elders in the village that she comes from to say this is what this village is about. So you might want to make a note of that, because actually, if we start making villages self-sufficient, if we have water there, if we have building there, if we have the solutions that they need for the passion fruit or the pineapple or the avocados or whatever is falling off the trees, that would be really good. On to the next slide. Now the bicycle repair girls could repair bicycles like this. Now I asked you whether you wanted to know about the product that was saving a life every 9 days in Zambia. Let me introduce the Zambulance. This is the Zambulance. You can go to Vimeo and you can see the movie. You can go to YouTube and you can see the movie. Zambulance, a bicycle with a trailer. If you're in a really developed country, you can put a motorbike on the front. But actually, the bicycle with the trailer is getting the ladies who are pregnant to the clinic in time, at that time when it's important for them to be there. So a bicycle with a trailer could save 40 million lives in Africa this year, if there are a million villages that don't have a clinic. So we're not actually talking necessarily about huge investments to make dramatic changes. Africans spend $1.8 billion a year more sending remittances home than Indians send. So let's start some money transfer businesses and get that competition going. Let's find a different way of doing that. I'm working with a Ugandan. I seem to be working with a lot of Ugandans, but I'm working with a Ugandan who is going to be beaming satellite broadband into rural areas. So the petrol station suddenly can have a catchment of 10 kilometers, and can take all the all the broadband connections in that 10 kilometers and make money from it. In Manchester last week, I met an English guy who's been working in Kenya, and they've now got a box that you can dial with your mobile phone to turn the electricity on in your house. There is a solar power installation in the center of your village, and all the houses are connected to it, and you ring up and you order 50 shillings worth of electricity, and when you get to 25 shillings they send you the text, and when you get to 10 shillings they say, we're turning you off in 10 shillings time. How do we get that into the countries that are represented here, if we don't do it through the diaspora in the UK? This is what Brush is looking for you guys to come together, to learn about these things, to share it with the people you know, and to accelerate the creation of wealth in Africa by applying what you've learned today, what you will learn at future events. On to the last slide. I promise it's the last slide. Look, it's blank. Thank you very much. For us, every deal counts. And the deal that I've been given today is the deal that Brush has given me by inviting all of you to be here to listen to what we've been doing for the last 5 years in this town. Please join him, get involved, bring forward the ideas that come back from your communities. You may have a Zambulance sitting in your backyard that somebody else needs. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Dave Smith. You can tell actually it's called the African book, because when you start, you just go on and on and on. That's brilliant. But I'm sure.
I started at 20 to 6, and it's only 10 to 6 now. I've been watching that.
We should be home by now. Well done. I'm sure we've learned a lot, and a lot of people will get in touch with you. I myself will, especially for that malaria thing for Sierra Leone. And I'm so shy for you here, so we can be in competition, right? Yeah. Well, that means, Mr. Bonnie, I'm afraid you don't have to say anything.
No.
But please, let's stick to the time. Let's stick to the time. Also, I think Mr. Collins is here. Blue?
Smith.
Please, okay. Because it's 2 at a time, so Mr. Smith can now take the main stage, the audience stage, and let's welcome Mr. Colin Blow. Not yet, sir.
Not yet. I
Yeah.
can't.
I have been given a notice. Please, let's stick to the time. I think there is 15 minutes. Is that 15 minutes? 15 minutes, please. Let's stick to the time. So we can be out of here. We've got enough time as well to network and meet a potential business partner. But please, let's welcome Mr. Bonnie Okeke.
Excuse me, I've got a bad voice a bit, but I'll try to. Good afternoon or good evening. We should have started in the afternoon, but now towards evening, so I say good evening. And thank you very much.
It's the wrong time.
It's the wrong time. Oh, it's the wrong time. No. It's okay. It's okay. They say if you don't have money, you should have time. But time is money. So, thank you very much. As it has been said, we are all here due to the hard work of Pierre, some call him Push. I've always called him Pierre. I've known Pierre now about 15 years. More than that. More than that. So he's an impressive person, and I won't try to belabor what has been said before. So thank you for all the work you have put in to bring us here today. And also thank you very much to the last speaker. Very impressive thesis, I would say, on Africa. And I will not try to match that by any means. What I wanted to do today is to use this opportunity to drive a different angle, a different way of thinking of our situation and how we work. That's my objective. So what I thought we could talk about, and by the way, you brought Bonnie Okeke, originally from Nigeria. This, if you go to the next slide. No, it's not this. No. No, it's not.
We come out of that one.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.